Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. In today's video, we'll be talking about the most iconic baddie that a player encounters in the world of Minecraft, the creepers. For those of you familiar with Minecraft, you would know that if you hear a sudden hissing sound, you're in big trouble, because these green, pixelated, creepy beings have a tendency to sneak up on the players and go boom, which means either you're dead or your precious building blocks have been destroyed, or worse, both, the end. So let's put on your butter armor and explore what these creepers really are, and what they really want. Let's get going. But before we get into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. What's a creeper, and what's a Minecraft charged creeper? In the voxelated world of Minecraft, the player primarily gets an option between two modes. A, they can choose to play the creative mode, where they have access to unlimited resources and inventory, and can create projects without any interference. Really. And option B is survival mode, where the player is required to mine natural resources to build their projects. But meanwhile, the players must protect themselves against the in-game monsters, lurking around in the darker areas. These enemies/hostile mobs, short for mobile creatures, comprise baddies like zombie villagers, witches, large spideys, skeletons, underwater zombies, slime, and more. And the creeper sort of tops the list. It's a green pixelated entity with an angry expression and is a very common hostile mob encountered by the players in survival mode. It's really stealthy and silently approaches the player before exploding within just 1.5 seconds. The creeper is a really destructive enemy, as its explosion can wipe out large blocks and effectively kill the player if they're unarmored, irrespective of the difficulty level, except for peaceful mode. In the Minecraft world, the creepers hop around like zombies until they spot a player to go after. That's not all. A creeper can also get an upgrade when they're struck by lightning. They become charged creepers, which escalates their explosion's destructive power, and hence they are far more dangerous than the regular creepers. Well, even if they're not struck by lightning directly, a creeper transforms into a charged creeper when a bolt of lightning strikes within a 4-block radius of a regular creeper. The lightning can be summoned naturally with the trident weapon and the channeling enchantment, or by attracting it to a lightning rod. So that's the basic gist of what the creepers are, and now we can delve into the details of their design, traits, and origin theories. What does a creeper look like? What's their accidental origin story? To answer simply, they look angry. The creeper's frowning face became so popular that it was incorporated as the letter A in the Minecraft logo. The creeper is a blend of green, white, gray, and black pixels. It's got an armless rectangular body with a box for a head and 4 smaller rectangles for legs. These creepy beasts were actually an accidental creation. Here's the story. It all started in August 2009, when a coding error occurred while designing the pig mob in the pre-formal testing stages. Minecraft's creator Marcus Notch Person erroneously swapped the length and height measurements and created a humanoid structure instead of the piggy mob, and he kinda liked it. So instead of deleting the accidental creation, he said, and we quote, "It looks creepier when animated. I'll keep it for a creepy creature." And thus, the creeper was born. Notch added some angry artificial intelligence to it, gave it the green texture based on the in-game leaves, and added it to Minecraft's alpha version in September 2009. As Minecraft's popularity soared sky high over time, the makers decided that the creeper is no longer as unpredictable as before, and hence introduced the concept of the charged creepers. Their appearance is slightly different from the green ones. Once charged, these deadly creepers get a neon blue aura around them. A closer look reveals that they are made up of dark and light blue and black pixels. How do these creepers attack? Can you survive their explosion? Well, as hostile creatures, creepers would typically start secretly chasing a player within its 16-block radius, and can only be identified by the hissing sound they emit, kind of like a burning TNT block wick. That's probably because it has the same sound file as a prime TNT, just at a lower pitch. Bad news is, if you hear the hissing of a creature, it pretty much means you're dead. However, the creepers find it difficult to detect players if they're wearing a creeper mob head. Once detected, using their stealth mode, the creepers sneak up within a 3-block radius of the player and get into their ultra incognito mode, while keeping the player constantly in its line of sight. It stops moving and starts hissing and flashing before expanding and exploding, all within 1.5 seconds. Interestingly, a creeper will only explode if it can see the player uninterruptedly for the last 1.5 seconds. If the explosion is successful, massive chunks of blocks and anything that the player has created are destroyed, and if extremely lucky, the player lives to see another day. While chasing a player, the creeper can also climb ladders and vines and blocks, and jump from heights, though they sometimes suffer a fall and die. A creeper detonation can be stopped in a number of ways. A, if the player escapes its 3-block radius. The radius, however, is much bigger in the more difficult levels of the game. B, if the player manages to knock it back and run for dear life. C, if the creeper is somehow killed from the time it starts hissing. And D, moving out of the creeper's line of sight. If the player moves out of its line of sight, a detonation is cancelled even if it had begun, and the creeper wouldn't even start hissing at close proximity to the player, not even when the player is attacking from the outside of its line of sight, such as by using bows and arrows or an iron sword while maintaining a safe distance. The player can force a creeper to detonate by using the flint and steel tool, or disable it by laying mob traps such as the 4-door trap. There are also a few ways that a player can survive a creeper detonation, such as by donning armor made of netherite, diamond, gold, or at least iron, that may soften the damage on the player. Also, placing the player on high ground makes it easier to target the creepers and run away from them. Sometimes placing quick blocks and building a wall between the player and the creeper blocks out some of the damage from the explosion. Strangely enough, taking your pet cat along also greatly helps against creepers, as these entities are terrified of cats and ocelots. Creepers flee from within a 6-block radius of these animals, and that too with a faster speed than while chasing the player. Cats and ocelots don't really attack creepers, but creepers are still scared of them, lol. Creepers typically don't attack other hostile mobs unless they're provoked by the likes of a warden, goats, or pufferfish. When intimidated by other mobs, the creeper gets distracted even while chasing a player and concentrates on focusing on the attacking mob and explodes in its vicinity. In Minecraft terminology, creepers explode with a power of 3, and charged creepers explode with a power of 6. When we tell you a charged creeper has more destructive power, we mean it causes twice as powerful of an explosion than a normal creeper, and deals 50% more damage than a block of TNT. That's crazy, right? Charged creeper explosions can also kill other mobs in the vicinity. When a charged creeper explodes, it releases mob heads of other hostile creatures such as zombies, piglins, skeletons, and other creepers. P.S. Mob heads are basically blocks designed after entities, which the player can collect if they survive. These heads can be put on by the player to disguise themselves as a hostile mob. However, when a player gets killed in a charged creeper explosion, they do not drop their head. And also, when a charged creeper kills more than one hostile mob of the same type, only one mob head is dropped. Creepers' in-game mechanics. How do they spawn, and what do they drop? In Minecraft, the main world where the player dwells and explores and starts creating is called the overworld, and blocks are the basic units of creation or any kind of structure in Minecraft. Also, light levels in Minecraft world influence a mob spawning. Having said all that, it'll be easier for you to understand that the swarms of creepers can spawn naturally on these Minecraft blocks in the overworld in 0 light level. However, they cannot spawn on the island-like mushroom fields and in the deep dark cave biomes. Thriving under 0 light basically means the creepers prefer darker areas of the overworld and are typically found lurking around at night or in areas with low light. In the Bedrock edition of Minecraft, creepers spawn individually, and in the Java edition, they spawn in groups of 4. However, in Bedrock edition, there's a density limit of 5 creepers on the overworld surface. It's funny how creepers come out of the dark and can still survive in the light. In Minecraft, the term drops refers to the items that are left behind by the players to find when mobs are killed or when blocks are mined, and the creeper is one of the main sources of the really prized gunpowder in the world of Minecraft. Creeper deaths release anything between 1 to 2 gunpowder drops, which can then be used to make fireworks and TNT blocks. The player also gains 5 experience points if the creeper is killed by them, or by a tamed wolf. Looting is a sword enchantment that players can use to destroy mobs and force them to drop more objects, and even rare ones. Using the looting enchantment, a creeper can be forced to make up to 5 gunpowder drops. Interestingly, the creepers are the only mobs that drop music discs, but the player can only attain these discs if the creepers are killed by either a skeleton or a stray. And as we've told you before, when a charged creeper kills a regular one, a creeper head is dropped for the player to collect and wear. Why do creepers explode in Minecraft? Exploring some theories. The mysterious origin and unique self-exploding ability of the creepers have led to never-ending discussions and theories on fan platforms. The most popular theory suggests that just like its name, creepers are plant-like organisms, comparable to the real-life sphagnum moss or peat moss. And if you paid attention in school, you'd know that peat moss is highly combustible, especially when dry. While the makers of Minecraft have never really explained what the creepers really are, creator Notch on one occasion said that he would imagine Minecraft creepers to have a crunchy texture, like dry leaves. That would also explain why the creepers like low light areas, and grow in abundance on the surface of the overworld. Also, peat moss has a connection with gunpowder. The charcoal derived from peat moss, known as peat coke, is used as a component in gunpowder. In the Minecraft book Mobestiary, which holds secrets about every mob in the game, a dissection of the creeper's anatomy is shown to have a TNT block inside their body, along with a brain and a heart. This also appears in some of the Minecraft merchandise, and may possibly explain why these sneaky thingies have no choice but to explode when threatened by an intruder's presence. One wacky fan theory states that pigs were once unloved and neglected creatures, and because the creepers are in a way a twisted form of pigs in Minecraft, all they need is some love and affection, and when the player doesn't give them that, they hiss and explode in anger. Another theory that's been discussed in fan clubs on a lighter note is that the creepers have extremely social anxiety. They aren't baddies at all, they just get nervous in the presence of another being and start approaching them silently in the hopes of making a new friend or getting a hug, but in the process, their heart beats so fast from stress that the creepers end up exploding. Such fun theories, really. Marvelous verdict. To sum it up, the creepers surely steal the show when it comes to the thugs of Minecraft. Fans simply love to hate these self-exploding monsters. No wonder the creepers have extensively featured in merchandise and promotional material of the game. Owing to their popularity, the creepers have also made it to Minecraft spin-off games and the film adaptation, a Minecraft movie. How much would you rate these sneaky rogues on a scale of 1 to 10 TNT blocks? Don't forget to tell us in the comments section below. And remember, if you hear a sudden hissing noise behind you, your pet cat is the only one who can save the day. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks everyone!